Alrighty everyone, welcome back to another video here at Craftmaster Stainless in Rancho Cordova. This system sitting behind us is a 2-vessel, 7-barrel CIP skid that we custom built for Domaine Chandon in Yountville, California. We met them at the Unified Wine Symposium in January of 2024 and have since been working with them to build this custom skid for their beautiful cellar out there. If you've never been out there, go check it out. Beautiful property and great drinks. As I said, it's 2 vessels. So one is the caustic tank, one is the acid tank, and then they can choose to swap out an acid for a sanitizer as well. As you can see, this is a fully automated skid with pneumatics, PLC HMI control, and it's equipped with 2 very large 10 horsepower pumps, one of which is self-priming because it's the return pump from the tank that they're cleaning. This can reach, we design it so that it can reach a wide amount of tanks in their cellar. This is on casters. It is not meant to be moved when it's full because it's quite heavy, but when empty it is movable by at least 2 people, an electric pallet jack, something like that. So starting over to the left, you can see we have the pumps and filtration. Supply pump right here with inline filters. So if there was any sediment that did make its way back into the tanks, it's being filtered before it goes out. It's not clogging your spray balls. It's not clogging your spray jets. We can filter that. You can remove that, clean it as necessary. On the back side is the return pump. On the return pump side, we have a inline filter here as well. This is equipped with pressure sensors. So when it sees the pressure differential start to rise, that means that filter's starting to clog. When we're dealing with wineries, we are dealing with tartrates. Those tartrate crystals, they'll either get into your tank, they'll get into your jets. You don't want to clog anything. So we created a backflush feature. So when that starts to clog, it'll stop your process and pause it, and then we'll flush the filter with water. Then we'll resume that process over again. You can see over on this side, here's your touchscreen and all your controls. We have your water hookups over here, so we can hook up RO water, cold water, hot water, and then your CIP supply goes out to the tank. Your CIP return comes in back on the inside. A couple main features of the system. We do have a conductivity sensor that is running on the return pipe. That conductivity sensor will read what's going back into the tank, and then the system will auto dose your chemicals depending on what that conductivity reading is. And just like any system running off of conductivity, you kind of take a baseline. So you freshly dose caustic into the tank, you see what that reads. That's going to be your high reading. You're also going to do a low reading. Basically, if it's going to be diluted with water, it'll see that where that dilution is and say, I need to hit this target. It'll start dosing till it hits that target. That return pipe also reaches back over to the acid tank. We have temperature sensors, pressure sensors in the line, and both tanks are equipped with electric heating elements so that you can, of course, heat the chemical and keep that chemical at the proper temperature so that you're not wasting time having to reheat it or redose hot water, redose chemical. Keeping chemicals at the right temperature is how you save on labor, how you save time, and then at the end you have a clean and sanitary tank for your next product. Nobody wants to waste a batch, and these guys are large. Other than that, level sensors on these tanks as well. These level sensors then protect the heating elements as well as protect the pumps. You do not want to replace a 10 horsepower pump, so just a quick, $400 sensor hooked up to an HMI or to some semi-automation will save you money in the long run. All of our sensors and flow meters on here are IFM except for the conductivity sensors. In the back, we do have the chemical reservoirs, which are driven by a diaphragm pump, also air operated. So you'll hear those kick on as it's dosing everything. This is a next step up from a CIP skid like this would be a static CIP skid. So if you're a large production facility, you'll typically see a static CIP skid either positioned next to your brew house or positioned in between all your tanks, and you'll typically see a lot of hard piping running throughout the brewery or the cellar so that you can hook up a hose to that hard piping and run to the next tank that you have to clean. We do have smaller options. We can build CIP skids all the way from 5 gallons up to your larger 10, 20 barrel CIP skids, depending on the size of your facility. And CIP skids aren't just used for wineries, distilleries, or breweries. If you're cleaning a tank of any kind, I'm talking plastic, poly, stainless, reach out to us. We will work with you and go through all the details of your process. We worked with the production manager as well as the lead winemaker of Domaine Chandon to create this skid. This is not just a cookie cutter skid. And I really enjoyed the process of working with them. When you come to me with a custom problem and you need a custom solution, I love dealing and building something to your specs. So call any one of us here at Craftmaster Stainless. Reach out to us at 916-750-4677, or you can email info@craftmasterstainless.com. We have a couple fillable forms on the website for different pieces of equipment that you can provide more details, but we're always here ready to answer the phone and help you guys out. Thank you.